welcome back to part 3 of my August 2021 Paper Pumpkin Alternative video series where I'm working with the Hope Box. In this video, I'm going to teach you what I did with the pieces that were supposed to go on the outside of the box to decorate the box. So let's take a look at what those pieces are. Okay, so we are going to get started with this card base here. So for this card, I'm actually just going to cover this up and use it as a card base. So I have a piece of So Saffron cardstock, but I wanted to add texture. So I'm going to be using my Thanks and Hello embossing folder, and this is the Hello one. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to place this in the folder. Now the neat thing is that this obviously is a smaller embossing folder, but I'm going to line it up straight because I want it to just emboss the center evenly. And then when it's done, after it's run through the Stampin' Cut and emboss machine, it's going to come out looking like this. So it'll have these nice lines, and that's exactly how I want it to be, framed like that. And that's really easy to do just by strategically placing the folder like that. All right, so I cannot make any mistakes because I don't have any more pieces. So ready or not, here we go. I'm going to flip this over and I am going to add my liquid glue to the back. So put some liquid glue on here. Kind of scary, huh? All right, but there's no mistakes in stamping, right? All right, and then I'm going to mount this on the top and cover up that card. Very, very good. Now this is just a really, really simple card. And when I stamp, you may not know this about me, I always stamp when I think of who I'm creating this card for. So I am making this card for my friend Laura, and I had just gotten off the phone with her, and she had mentioned to me that she loves the color yellow. So that's why I went with So Saffron. And also Laura and I have an inside joke about the word hello on cards. So that's why this card is totally gonna be meant for her. All right, so I'm going to be working with this tag, these two flowers. So also in the Paper Pumpkin kit are these pretty banners, so I'm going to be using one of these as well. All right, so let's start assembling this. So I'm going to get out some dimensionals, and I'm going to place some dimensionals behind this pretty yellow tag. So I'll just do 2 there and 2 at the top. Okay, now if you look closely, one thing that I love about the Thanks and Hello is that you have all these different languages. Well, Laura is Hispanic, and so she speaks Spanish, and so I definitely wanted to look for the word HOLA, and it's right here at the bottom. All right, so when I stick this down, I want to make sure that I can see HOLA. I'm going to line it right next to the word aloha. I love to have that showing as well, but then I want to make sure that this big hello is kind of like the focal point of the card. All right, next we're going to take and we're going to use this banner here, but rather than add color, because I wanted this to be very monochromatic, we are going to use this on the back side. So I'm going to put my word here. And then rather than stamp it, I used one of my favorite dies, which is the Playful Alphabet dies, and I created my own custom word. Now, if you follow my videos, then you've seen me do Laura's tape technique, and this card that I'm sending is actually for the person who invented this technique. And so what I've done is I've taken a piece of saffron cardstock, I've glued it to some of our foam adhesive, and then I placed a piece of packing tape over top of the cardstock so that I make it nice and shiny. Then I put the Playful Alphabet dies over the top. I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and emboss machine, and now I have some really beautiful shiny letters that are all ready to be stuck down to my card. Now, I bet you're thinking, I'm gonna say aloha, but remember, I mentioned that Laura is Hispanic, and so I am going to write out the word hola. So isn't that pretty with Laura's tape technique on there? I just love it. All right, so now we are ready to put our hola, and guess what? We're gonna place it right here so that it covers the hole in the top of the tag, and that it is right above the word hello. So I'm gonna, because there's different heights here, I'm gonna only put a dimensional on one side, and then I'm gonna put a glue dot on the opposite side. Okay, so now that's on there. Let's add our flowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these on with a glue dot. And then I'm going to embellish with some rhinestones. All right, so this card for Laura is done, but I want to show you one other version that I did of it, and it's right here. And this is where I used yellow and black instead of yellow and white. I used the tag upside down that said Faith, I believe, that was in the kit. Here again, you can see Laura's tape technique. This time it's just on some black cardstock, but I don't have foam underneath it. And then I used the butterflies upside down again so they would be white, and I stamped one of the flower images from the paper pumpkin kit. And so now you have a black and yellow version as well as a white and yellow version. All right, so these are the pieces that were on the outside of the kit. I have one more card to show you, and that's what I did with this big butterfly. But I'm actually gonna make that in another video, so you can go on and check out the next video and see what I did with this beautiful butterfly. I think you're really gonna like it. I'll see you soon.